Good morning, everybody. So, one of the moderators in our big Facebook group, Farm Builder Entrepreneurs, one of the moderators posted a Instagram picture this morning that said something to the effect of stop taking swimming lessons from people who are drowning. And she put that into the farm context of, who are you listening to? Those who are having success and moving forward. What would you have to say to folks that are struggling and having a hard time? It's especially relevant right now in the agricultural world because of policy changes, overproduction, weather, markets, things that are as old as agriculture itself. There's always a crisis out there, but it seems especially tough in today's world. And so out here watering the chickens and standing for a few minutes, so figured I would chime in. I would say at whatever scale you're at with a business or your life, there's going to be areas where you're swimming really well, that you are getting after it, you're finding success, you have traction, you are making money, or you are finding happiness, or you are finding progress, whatever your metric of success may be. And there's areas where you're going to be treading water, where it's really not going forward well, but it's not sliding off backwards, but you're just kind of having to work to hold where you are. And then there's going to be areas where you are that drowning person. Things are not going well. Your head's bobbing underneath the waves. You're sucking in a little bit of water. You're gasping for air. Something I've kind of realized about life is it's never all one of those things or the other. It's going to be a combination of all three. And so, what would I say to encourage folks? If you find yourself in the situation where you're more in the treading water to slipping beneath the waves category, where the losses are mounting more than the wins, where you're continually having a 51 loss, 49 win scenario, it's gradually sliding backwards. Look at what you are doing and simplify that process down. Sometimes it needs to be radically simplified. Figure out, in the context of your business, what is it that actually gives you satisfaction and fulfillment, but also pays the bills. Because as a business, you could be curing cancer, but in the way our system works, if you can't monetize that, you're not going to go very far unless you are a charity. So you need to look at what are the core parts of your business, what actually makes money, and focus your efforts on that. It may not be the thing that you are passionate about. It could be that your passion project is a money draining idea or enterprise that you will need to marry that up to a profit center that's going to give you the resources and the money to do what you really like to do. It could be that I really enjoy sawmilling lumber and making rustic furniture, and it's very relaxing and I enjoy that, but that's not what pays the bills. So I need to focus on what pays the bills in order to enjoy the thing that gives me satisfaction. So simplify. That's a very universal one that I see, where look at what's going on, narrow it down, focus on what will give you traction in a positive direction. It may mean that you need to drop an enterprise for a while. It may mean that you need to cease everything that you're doing for a while and focusing on figuring out the core principles you need to operate on. Maybe there's some debt that you need to eliminate, so you just need to buckle down for a season, go out there, make a bunch of money and get rid of your debt and put yourself in a better position. Or it may mean that you need to focus on what is that core enterprise that is driving everything else and you just need to work on that for the time being. It's not time to take on new projects, to expend your mental, emotional, and physical resources in developing a new idea. Focus on a formula that's already working and hammer down on that puppy. So that's one thing, simplify. The second thing would be surround yourself with a team who has a similar mission and purpose in their life. No one person or one couple can hold out for long when there is no traction. You get discouraged, you are bogged down, you're overwhelmed, you're pulled off of focus to the things that matter. So maybe what you need to do is find that person who can take over marketing or sales or the operation side. And you may need to pay them more than you pay yourself, because they are coming in as a mercenary, so to speak. They are bringing a talent to the table that deserves a commensurate compensation. So 2 more pens to water here. What's some other things I would say? Very nuts and bolts things. If you are producing livestock and you are struggling to find profitability in the enterprise, look at value adding. Fact is, right now you're probably not going to make money doing a cow-calf operation unless you are doing thousands of head. So maybe you're doing 20, 30 head on your farm and you're selling that calf for $400 or $500 right now. I saw 5 to 6 weight steers and heifers drop below $1 a pound this week at our local stock sale. Maybe you need to look at a way to move that animal through to finish. Start moving some retail cuts. Find friends and family who would buy a finished cow from you. If you can't find 10 people in your circle of friends who would be willing to support your business, that doesn't mean that you have bad friends. It means you need to work on your marketing. Maybe you need to look at a shelf-stable item. Snack sticks, jerky, something where you can take that $500 calf, raise it out, and all of a sudden turn it into $7,000 worth of beef sticks. And it's something you can sell on Shopify, Etsy, Facebook, Instagram, where you can find customers all over the country who are willing to buy your shelf-stable product. So look for ways to take what you already got and leverage more profitability out of it. You don't necessarily need to produce more pigs, chickens, cows, eggs, produce, whatever it is that you do, milk. You need to figure out a way to make it more convenient for the public to consume it. That's the great thing about food production, is everyone eats 3 times a day, sometimes more. Few do it a little bit less, but everybody has to eat. It is a non-negotiable for human existence to consume food. Where a lot of times the failure happens is your product is not at a convenient enough station in the ready-to-eat process, and it's not at a convenient enough location or proximity to the consumer. A lot of times, price is not the limiting factor. It's those other two. It's not close enough to being ready to eat, and it's not close enough to where the consumer is who wants to eat it. So those 3 things I would say look at if you are struggling with your business right now. Simplify the process. Stay very light on your feet. Markets are going to change a lot in the next year. Probably the most in our lifetimes. We are entering that phase of the agricultural cycle. Surround yourself with people. Build a team of fellow entrepreneurs or staff on your farm. And it may only be one person who are going to encourage you and take weight off your shoulders so you're not carrying that load all the time. And then the last thing is look for ways to leverage more profitability out of what you're already doing as opposed to just doing more. I know dudes that raise 1 million chickens on their farm every year. they're broke too. They're not making much money. They have to work a town job. Their wife has to work a town job. They're running themselves ragged. Volume is not the way to win the game. So, hope you can find that encouraging. Keep on getting after it with your farm, and we'll see you next time.